Hello, Scorpio. If you've been feeling something unusual in your home lately, a shift you can't quite name, a weight in the air, a subtle change in how certain spaces feel, please don't dismiss it. This isn't just your imagination, and it's not something to be afraid of. What you're sensing is real. It's energetic, and it matters. For someone like you, Scorpio, whose emotional depth runs far beneath the surface. These subtle shifts are never just coincidence. Your home is more than just a physical structure, it's where your intuition lives. So when a room begins to feel unfamiliar, when silence starts speaking louder than words, or when your dreams repeat the same message again and again, it's not a mistake. It's a sign, a signal that something is stirring beneath the surface, something that may not be visible yet but is absolutely on its way. You are not being haunted. You're being prepared. The energy in your space is beginning to shift because your soul is getting ready to receive something different, something bigger, something long overdue. In astrology, when the fourth house home, emotional roots, inner security is activated, it often triggers what we've been ignoring or suppressing, but it also opens the door for transformation, healing, and unexpected blessings. And for you, Scorpio, that door is cracking open now. This isn't about rushing to clean or move or fix. This is about paying attention. Your space may be holding on to energy that no longer belongs to you. And sometimes, the discomfort is simply your body recognizing that you're outgrowing the version of yourself that created this environment. The good news is, when this kind of shift begins, it's almost always followed by a breakthrough. But you have to be willing to see it. You have to be willing to listen. That strange tension in the air, that drawer you keep avoiding, the way a particular object keeps falling or shifting, no matter how many times you fix it. These aren't just quirks of the physical world, they're echoes. Spiritual signals disguised as daily disruptions. For someone as energetically sensitive as you, Scorpio, your body notices long before your mind does. These patterns, the heaviness in the room, the unexpected chills, the dreams that repeat in quiet urgency are not random. They are how your soul begins to speak when words no longer reach you. Energy doesn't always enter with clarity. Often it arrives as discomfort, as a subtle pull to notice something you've been too busy or too overwhelmed to face. But that discomfort is not punishment. It's preparation. A signal that the energetic foundation of your life is no longer aligned with the person you're becoming. In the home, your physical space is where that misalignment shows up first. Because the home holds memory, it holds emotion. It absorbs every word you didn't say, every truth you buried to keep peace, every version of you that stayed silent just to make others comfortable. But now your body is starting to reject what your soul has already outgrown. The universe is using the space around you to get your attention, not to scare you, but to prepare you, because when energy begins to shift in your home, it's not about the furniture. It's about frequency. It's the earliest language of transformation. And for you, Scorpio, that language is already speaking loud and clear. Scorpio, the reason this shift feels so personal, so visceral, is because the very axis that governs your emotional security is being activated. When planetary transits touch your fourth house, especially by opposition or square to your natal Scorpio placements, they don't just rearrange the furniture. They begin dismantling everything that no longer serves your inner stability. And for someone like you, who often survives by mastering control and emotional containment, this kind of activation can feel almost invasive. But it's not destruction, it's truth finally coming to the surface. Right now, the universe is asking you to look at the foundation you've built inside your home, inside your family patterns, inside the way you emotionally survive day to day, and to admit, without judgment, what no longer fits. This is not about blaming yourself or others. It's about realizing that what once protected you may now be keeping you confined. that a dynamic or a role you've maintained for the sake of harmony is no longer aligned with the person you are becoming. And just like Scorpio energy does best, this is a time of psychological excavation, not out of drama, but out of necessity. This isn't subtle. Scorpio transits rarely are. You may be noticing rising tensions in family relationships, memories you thought were long buried, resurfacing without warning, or even sudden urges to move, clean, renovate, or let go of objects that carry old emotional weight. These aren't coincidences. They are the signs of deep-rooted emotional restructuring, and they often precede a season of long-term reward because just like Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation and regeneration, you are not being emptied for the sake of loss. You are being cleared so that something of real value can finally take root, something sustainable, something secure, something that supports the future you're quietly stepping into. Scorpio, as the transits continue to unfold, especially across your 4th and 12th houses, there is a clear and unmistakable invitation being extended to you, a call to reclaim authority over your own emotional environment. Not by force, not by proving anything to anyone, but by quietly stepping back into alignment with your truth. You've spent so much of your life reading the emotional temperature of others, adjusting yourself to make the energy feel safer. But now, the energy is asking you to stop managing everyone else's comfort and start honoring your own. This is your home, your vibration, and your soul is no longer willing to shrink just to keep the peace. Recent planetary movements, especially those activating fixed signs, are confirming that you're not lost. You're moving forward, even if it doesn't look like progress on the outside. Internally, you're already winning a battle no one else can see. The old wounds you've carried, the guilt you've absorbed, the silence you've kept to maintain balance, it's all beginning to break apart. And not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough now to feel it, name it, and release it. This is the quiet power of Scorpio, not loud, but relentless, not performative, but deeply transformative. And your energy is beginning to reflect that. What's being asked of you next isn't just stillness, but motion. Not just reflection, but response. With the South Node continuing to move through Scorpio's axis, there is a karmic unraveling taking place. An old version of home, identity, and emotional safety is being dismantled so that something cleaner, simpler, and more sovereign can rise. This might look like clearing out a space in your house that holds too much emotional residue. It might mean finally having the conversation you've avoided, or it might simply mean moving your body, making a different choice, choosing not to repeat the old reaction. Whatever it is, you'll know, because the body always knows before the mind catches up. And perhaps most sacred of all, Scorpio, is that your intuition is louder than ever. It doesn't scream, it doesn't demand, it just whispers consistently. And in this season, as Neptune and the moon stir the waters of your inner life, you are being asked to trust what you feel even if you can't yet explain it. You are being asked to listen to the tension in your chest, the flutter in your stomach, the dream you can't shake, and recognize it as guidance. The world may want proof, but your soul needs permission. And that permission to believe yourself, to trust your instincts, to let go, even before the next step is clear, is the doorway to the new beginning that's trying to find you. This is not just the end of something. It's the start of everything you've been praying for. In silence, for years. You don't have to have it all figured out. The astrology of this time is not about precision, it's about presence. And when you choose presence over perfection, alignment begins to unfold naturally, bit by bit, breath by breath, one brave, honest moment at a time. Scorpio, as this energetic turning point unfolds, the work ahead of you isn't abstract or symbolic, it's deeply physical. Your home, as an extension of your emotional field, is asking for your presence now more than your perfection. Choose one corner, one shelf, one drawer that feels the heaviest to your body when you pass it. Don't analyze it. Just notice. That weight you feel is real? It's emotional residue. And when transits move through your fourth house, especially in a water sign like Scorpio, the most sacred form of healing isn't grand ritual. It's small, deliberate action grounded in self-respect. You're not cleaning to impress anyone. You're not organizing to chase productivity. You're reclaiming your space not with a checklist, but with reverence, because every time you move an object that carries a memory, you shift the energetic story it holds. And as someone ruled by Pluto, if you understand more than most that true transformation is never surface level, it begins with honesty. So take a moment after you've cleared that space and write something down. Not for anyone else, just for you. A feeling you've swallowed for too long. A truth you've been carrying in silence. A desire that still feels too fragile to speak aloud. Let it have form. Let it breathe. The body remembers what the mind forgets, and sometimes the most powerful rituals are the ones that engage all your senses. Burn something sacred: jasmine, sweet orange, sandalwood, something that reminds your nervous system that lightness is allowed. Cleanse your entryway or your bedside with a bowl of water and sea salt. Not because you're following a rule, but because you're creating space for yourself to feel safe, grounded, and seen again. Even the act of sitting quietly with your breath, 10 slow inhales, 10 steady exhales, is a radical declaration that your body is no longer in survival mode. It's finally home. These acts are not decoration. They are declaration. And under Scorpio's sky, when you declare something with your full energy, the universe responds, not with immediate results, but with confirmation, with clarity, with next steps that rise slowly but unmistakably into your awareness. And that's all you need right now, not to fix everything, but to begin, to choose a different response, to make space for a different outcome. You don't need to burn down your life. You just need to light a small fire where it matters. You don't need permission to begin again. Scorpio, you never did. The moment you sensed that something in your space no longer fit, that was the invitation. The moment your intuition whispered that the air felt heavier, that was the green light. You are not waiting for someone else to leave. You are not waiting for conditions to be perfect. You are not waiting for clarity to arrive fully formed. You are the clarity. You are the new beginning. And whether anyone else sees it or not, the shift has already started. Your home is not just where you sleep. It's where your soul echoes. Every object, every shadow, every forgotten corner holds memory, and more than that, it holds a mirror. So if something in your environment no longer feels like it belongs to you, trust that feeling. Trust that the discomfort is not rejection, it's redirection. What you clear from your physical space, you clear from your emotional timeline. And when you begin to shift the energy in your environment with intention, you're not just creating order, you're writing your future. So clean not to erase the past, but to release what no longer honors it. Rearrange not to control, but to reclaim. Light the incense. Clear the space. Write the truth, not because someone told you to, but because your spirit is ready. Your home is speaking. Your body is listening. And your destiny is unfolding quietly in the background, waiting for enough space to finally land. You are not maintaining a home anymore. You are shaping a sanctuary. And that is sacred work. So if you've been feeling it, the shift, the tension, the subtle unraveling, don't run from it. Sit with it. Honor it. This isn't chaos. This is preparation. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. Scorpio, the energy in your home is changing because you are changing. And the more you honor what no longer belongs, the more space you make for what's truly meant for you. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for someone else to see it first. Start now. In silence. In courage. In truth. And remember, clearing your home isn't just about dust and clutter. It's about frequency. It's about alignment. It's about becoming the version of yourself who no longer asks for room because she knows she's the one who creates it.